About various things on exception handling, about the try catch finally, about throw and throws, about how to display the exception. Okay. And how do you get user defined exception classes? What are checked exception classes, unchecked exception classes? What is throw? What is throws? How can you differentiate throw and throws? Okay. Try with resources is the last topic. Multi exception cache block also we can write. Method overloading with exceptions, method overriding with exceptions. So like this, we discussed about multiple things in the exception handling topic, almost all the points which are related to exception handling that we have discussed. Writing the writing the try block inside try block. This is called nested try block. So even we can write a try block in finally block also, try block in cache block also. So try block we can write anywhere. We can write a try block in try block, okay? We can also write a try block inside a cache block also. Or even we can write try block inside finally block also. That is also allowed. Okay. If you are writing a try block, corresponding cache block is required. Otherwise, corresponding finally block is required. Otherwise, you can write both cache block and then followed by the finally block also. These are all the valid things that we know about uh, the concept of the exception handling, right? Okay. Nice. We are going to see about actually we have to start with the generics topic, then for the collections concept. Actually, we want to start with the generics topic, then we want to start with the collections concept, right? Generics and collections. Okay. So what we will do is, okay, what we will do is first uh, we will understand about something called as hash code method and equals method. First, we will understand about hash code method and equals method. There are two methods which are very important for us in the collections concept, okay? Because when you are working with the collections, then definitely this is going to be very much important. That's why. So first we will understand about a concept called as hash code method and equals method. What is hash code method? What is equals method? And what they do? Okay, if you know about them, then next what happens in further classes when you are working with the collections concept next. Okay, generics followed by collections we are going to start today. So while working with this generics and collections concept, this hash code method, equals method will play some important role. And that is the reason why. Okay, that is the reason why. First, what I am trying to explain is I would like to explain first on these two methods called hash code method and equals method. Then after that, I'll talk about generics today. And once we got the generics, then freshly we can start the collections concept. Okay. So today we want to know or we want to discuss about a point called as what is hash code method and equals method. H in lowercase, but C in uppercase. This is called hash code method. Okay, guys. Sorry. This is called hash code method. Okay, I'm talking about hash code method and equals method. So let's try to understand what is hash code method and equals method. Okay, let's start with the hash code method and equals method, guys. Let's start with that. Okay, good. First of all, two string method also we know. Earlier we discussed about two string method, am I right? You know what? You want to override two string method. If you want to convert, if you want to display an object, okay, if you want to display an object in a string format, if you want to display an object in a string format, then which method that we have overridden is called toString method. And we have discussed toString method almost for an entire class. almost more than half session on one of the previous classes, right? I think you have remembered about toString method. So if you look at toString method and a hash code method and equals method, all these three are from object class. And you know what is the base class for all classes in Java? In Java, object is a base class for what? All classes in Java. Am I right? For all the classes in Java, object is the base class. Base class. Correct? Okay. We have the methods called what? Hash code method, and we have another method called as what? Equals method. These two methods are also coming from object class. Okay, first we'll understand about hash code, but then we'll understand about equals method. Meanwhile, first I want to start with the Eclipse, because I have to explain about how hash code method works and how equals method works. Okay, first I am just writing, guys. First, I want to delete this because it is not required for me. Now I want to start creating one new Java project I'm creating. And this is something like hash code equals demo, equals program, something. I'm writing my project name as hash code equals program. So then I want to just, I want to simply click on the finish button. That's good. So first I want to just explain. Okay, first I want to explain. I want to write one new class first. And the package name I wanted com.ashokit.example. Package name can be any name. And class name, basically I want to write class name as main class with the main method. Okay. Now above this main class, I want to write one more class here. It could be anything. Let's say for example, writing class A. Class A. Okay, one class I am creating. And this class is containing some variables, constructors, method. That is common thing. Na? So for example, variables and methods, we can also define the constructors. So for example, I wanted private int x, private int y. Okay, two variables I'm taking, int x and y. Two variables I'm creating, int x and y. Okay, and I'm defining constructor, public, class name and constructor name both are same, int x comma int y. So this dot x equals to x, this dot y is equal to y. So this is my constructor. So this is class name. This is the constructor name. And this is called parameterized constructor. This is called parameterized constructor. I'm writing one parameterized constructor. Two parameters I have given. I'm defining a constructor with two parameters. And I don't want any other method. Just enough now. This is okay. Okay. Just only I want to create two variables, and I also want to create one constructor. That's it. And I don't want anything. Now I want to create an object for this class A. So class A, CA is equal to new class A. Okay. But actually I'm getting error at line number 17. So could you tell me why I'm getting the error at line number 17? That is one question I have with me actually. I don't know why I'm getting error at line number 17.
It
Could you
needs
tell me
two
now why
parameters.
I'm getting error at line number 17? Actually, I know that this is a way of creating an object.
It needs two
I know that
parameters.
way of creating an object, right? This is a way of creating an object. Okay, class name is class A. So object name is CA. Class A, CA is equal to new class A. I know that this is a way of creating an object for class A. But I don't know why I'm getting error like this. Sorry, I don't know why I'm getting error. Could you tell me, anybody tell me? Could you tell me why I'm getting error at line number 16 now? The line number is 16.
There is a parameterized constructor.
Okay. So why I'm getting error at line number 16? Can anybody tell me, anybody else except JP? Why I'm getting error at line number 16?
We have not declared the default constructor there.
See, answer is it's very simple, guys, because you are almost at the end of the 4 Java sessions, and these simple errors also, if you are unable to answer, that is pretty bad. Observe here. If you look at this class A, and you know that this is called constructor. This is the constructor. These are the two parameters of constructor. Now my question is, now in this class has how many constructors? First of all, tell me answer for my question. This class has how many constructors? The
Constructor
A has how many constructors?
One.
How many constructors are there in this class A? One constructor is there. Which type of constructor it is? Is it a
parameterized constructor?
Is it a parameterless constructor or parameterized constructor? Parameterized constructor. Okay, good. Tell me, if your class has only parameters constructor, then tell me, while creating the object, you also need to pass the values to the parameters.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, line number 16, I'm creating an object.
Yes.
If I write, for example, new class A without passing any parameters here, then tell me, this is going to call which constructor?
Parameterless
Constructor. Do you have parameterless constructor in your class?
No.
In your class, do you have parameterless constructor?
No.
No, you don't have parameterless constructor in your class. You don't have any parameter in your class. Am I clear with this? Am I clear with this? You don't have any parameterless constructor in your class, correct? So tell me, that's why we are getting error at line number 16. What type of constructor you have in your class?
Parameterized.
With how many parameters you have defined? 2
parameters.
Then tell me, to call this constructor with the 2 parameters, you have to pass 2 values here.
Yes, to pass the values.
I am getting error. This is the way of identifying it. 10, 20. Now the error is removed till number 16. I don't have any error at line number 16 now, guys. Okay. So now observe here. I am writing system.out.println ca.hashcode. I'm writing something called system.out.println ca.hashcode. Actually, we have a doubt here. Hashcode is a method. Okay. Otherwise, I will write something like this now. Integer, some variable name could be any name. A is equal to int A is equal to ca.hashcode. Okay. Question is, now I am calling the method called what? Hashcode here. But do you have any such method in this class A?
No.
If you want to call the method, okay, if you want to call the method, first of all, method must be there in your class, na?
Yes.
If a method is not defined in your class, okay, guys, everybody. What I'm saying is, if a method is not defined in your class, then how can you call the method? Is it possible to call a method if you don't have a method in your class? Anybody?
Method.
Yes.
Suppose if there is no method in your class, can you call the method?
No.
No, we
No.
cannot call now. We cannot call now.
Yes, sir.
Right. Could you tell me now? Could you tell me now? Could you tell me now? I'm calling the method called what? Hash code. Yes. Tell me now.
Yes.
But do you have that method inside this class here?
No.
But I'm not getting error at line number 70.
It is object method.
This method is not there in your class, but this method is coming from object class. Who is a super class or base class for
Object.
by default? Who is a by default base class or super class or parent class for a class in Java?
Object
Object.
class.
Object.
So object is what? Parent class.
Parent
Tell me
class.
this method is coming from which class now?
Has.
Object.
Object. Class. Object class. What I'm saying here, there is a super class called object. There is a super class called object. Object is a super class. In this object class, there is a hash code method. Which method?
Hash code.
Hash code method is there. Hash code method is there. And from this object class, this hash code method is inherited to our class A.
Class A.
Right? So far, am I clear? Did you understood every word so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay, done. So this method is there in object class. And who is a super class for my class A?
Object class.
Object. Of course, I'm not writing extends. I'm not writing any extends keyword. And I'm not writing the parent class name is object. But by default is object only now.
Yes, sir.
So this method is coming from which class now?
Object class.
Okay. This is called inheritance. This concept name is called what? Inheritance. Child class is inheriting
From the parent class.
Parent class
Parent.
methods. Child class is inheriting the methods of parent class, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good. System.out.println of A. Okay. Hash code is an important today. Hash code equals whatever we are discussing. Both are very important. So first let me run this program. I got something like this now. 170592963 something like that I'm getting. Am I clear with you?
Yes, sir.
Always remember first hash code is one integer value. Hash code is one integer value. So what is this integer value? Actually, every object has a memory address. Every
Yes.
object has a memory address. Correct? Every object has a memory. Every memory has an address. So tell me every object has what address finally? Memory address. Every object has a memory address. Okay. Actually, memory address will be in hexadecimal format. Which format?
Hexadecimal.
You don't need to worry about what is that. Simply it is in hexadecimal format. Okay. Hexadecimal format. That hexadecimal, the memory address in hexadecimal format is now converted to some integer value. Converted to some integer value. So which method will do this work? Hash code.
Yes.
Means tell me what hash code method of object class will do. Hash code method of object class will convert the memory address of an object into integer value. Okay. Every object contains what? Memory address.
Address.
Memory address. Let's see. Class A CA2 equal to new class A of 20,30. Int B is equal to CA2 dot hash code. System.out.println of CA2. Sorry, B is a hash code. Now see the answer. Now you can see This is one integer value, this is another integer value. We are getting two different values
Yes, sir.
because every object has a memory address.
Yes.
So what this hash code method will do? This hash code method will convert the memory address into
Integer type.
integer value. Okay. This method is from which class?
Object.
Object. Okay. First, let me write all these things. I am writing first point. Then I'll tell you what the use of hash code method because it is going to be useful for us in collections. Hash code and equals methods are from java.lang.object class. Okay. Next step. Hash code method of object class. Hash code method of object class converts the memory address of an object into integer value and returns that integer value. So far, am I clear with you?
Yes, sir.
So far, am I clear with you? So far. Okay. Memory address of an object into integer value and returns that integer value. Okay. Right. Listen to me. Next, I will explain again, but you have to understand somewhat carefully today. See here the values are again I am passing 10, 20. See in the first object also, when I am creating the very first object for the class A, what are the values or what is the state of the object? State means data. What's the data? X is 20, X is 10, Y is 20. And for second object also, what is the data? X is
X equal
10
to
and Y
Y
is
equal to 20.
both the objects are containing same state means same data. Both
Yes.
objects are holding the same data. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Run this program. Now question is now, even though they are containing same data, both objects are containing same data, but we are getting the hash code value as a different value.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, because what are these two?
Memory address.
They are
Memory
addresses.
Integer.
They are memory
Memory address.
addresses. Correct.
Yes.
Correct. They are memory addresses. This is the memory address of the object 1, CA. This is the memory address of the second object, CA2. What are these two? Finally, these two are what? Memory addresses of the two objects, CA and CA2.
CA2.
Okay. But what is the data inside the first object?
10, 20.
10, 20. And for the second object also?
10, 20.
Now, okay. Sometimes, now I'm not saying every time, sometimes when we are creating our classes, we have to override hash code method in such a way that, I repeat this point. Okay. I repeat once again. Sometimes we will have a requirement. That requirement we are going to understand in collections programming. In collections programming, you are going to see the requirement. But sometimes we need to override hash code method in our class. We don't want a memory address. Okay, we don't want memory address. We have to override hash code method in our class in such a way that if two objects are having equal content means equal data, same data, then their hash codes also must be same. Suppose if you take this now, these two objects are containing what? Same data. Their hash code also must be same. But actually what happens if I run this now? Are you getting the same hash code or different?
Different.
Because these are memory addresses. What are these two?
Memory address.
Memory addresses. See here. method logic is our own logic only. See here. For example, I'm writing @override. Public return type is int. Method name is hash code. Could you tell me which method I'm overriding now?
Hash.
Hash method.
Overriding. Say, for example, return x into, could be any number. I am not writing anything. X into 1000 plus y into x into 1000 plus, okay, y into 2000. Something I'm writing. It's my own logic only. I can write anyway. Finally, it should return what value? Integer value. That's it. Okay. Now, look at the answer. What are you getting? Same hash code we are getting.
Yes.
Now, is it the memory address? No.
Yes.
No.
Memory address. When we'll get memory address, if you don't override the hash code method in your class, you will get the memory address. But I'm already overriding hash code method now.
Yes.
Then tell me this line number 22 is going to call hash code method in my hash code method in my class A na?
Yes.
Now tell me this line number 26, the hash code method is going to call my hash code method in class A only na?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Am I clear with this?
Yes.
Guys, am I clear with this? Did you understand now?
Yes.
So tell me, what is the content in these both objects?
10, 20.
10, 20. Then tell me their hash codes are also same na?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
sometimes in our classes, we have to override hash code like this. Logic, whatever logic you want, you write. But what's the rule or principle? If the two objects are having same data, their hash code must be same.
Over.
Their hash code must be same.
Yes.
Am I clear with this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Good to know. So if I change the data here, this is 20, this is 25. Tell me now, is the data is same or different?
Different.
Different.
CA and CA2.
Different.
Data is same or data is different?
Different.
Data is different. Okay, if the data is different, then these two objects should contain the same hash code or a different hash code.
Different.
Different.
Hash code. You'll get the different hash code only.
Yes.
This is 5,000.
Yes.
This is
Seven.
50,000, but this is 70,000. So it could be any number, but are you able to get the concept now? First of all,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
yes. Just a minute. What I call? Give me 1 minute. I'll come back. So thing is now, the point what I'm saying is now, if you are, sometimes in our class, we have to override this method. Which method? Hash code.
Hash
That you are going to learn in collections. But presently you are learning about how to override, but the requirement comes in collections. But presently, first you know this concept. Okay, that's why I'm explaining. First you know, then requirement will discuss in collections. So you have to override hash code method sometimes in your class. But whenever you are overriding hash code method in your class, you have to follow one principle. What's the principle? If two objects are having same content, then their hash codes also must be same. Okay, if the two objects are having different content, obviously hash code also must be
Different.
that way you need to override. In that way you need to override. Okay, that is what you have to do. So what logic you want, right? That is your wish, but it must return some value. What value? Integer value. That's it. Whether you are multiplying with 1,000, 10,000, 500, 1, 5, it doesn't matter. Logic is your choice, but it must return some value. What value? Integer value.
Integer.
That's it. Logic,
Sir,
whatever you want, you write. That's up to you.
without override hash code method, then what
Sorry?
will be happen? Without override the hash code method, then same class object content is same. Then
Have you joined the session now itself?
yes, sir.
That's why you missed the point.
Yes, sir.
I've already explained that point actually.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay. Sorry.
Guys. So now let's go ahead now. See what I'm trying to say is, guys, okay. First, let me continue. See here. Here, whether you want to multiply with 1,000 or you want to multiply with 2,000, it doesn't matter whether I'm multiplying with 101 or 105 or 107, it doesn't matter. It should return something, that's it. It should return some integer value. For example, here I'm multiplying with 107 and here I'm multiplying with 209. It doesn't matter. It is not at all a matter, right? Now tell me both the objects are, for example, if the both objects are having same content, 10, 20. 10, 20. Then what happens if I run this? I'm getting same hash code. Because what's the content here? Same.
And same.
The two objects are having same content, their hash code also must be same. And for example, if I add the different content, for example, here the number is 11 and here the number is 22. This is 22. Now tell me, is the both objects are having same content or a different content?
Different.
So if they have a different content, then also different. Now you see this is hash code different, this is hash code different. Like this you have to override. Just keep this point in mind so that it will be helpful for us when we are working with the collections. Next. One thing. You can override this method manually. Suppose if you don't want to override this method manually, we have the option also. Like for example, setter getter methods are there. So are you writing the setter getter manually? Are you writing them? No, no, we are not writing manually. What do we do? Just simply we are going to work with the existing option. We have option in IDE, so we are going to use that option. Similarly, for hash code method also, to generate hash code method, even to generate to override equals method also, there are option is available. Okay. So for example, but in this I'm only talking about, see, right click, source, generate hash code and equals. You have an option here. You can click this.
Yes, sir.
Let's say okay, generate. Now tell me what and okay, leave about equals method. I don't want equals method. I'll remove this because I have not explained about it. Then tell me this time, am I overriding hash code method manually or we have the option already?
Already we have option.
Already we have the option. Now let's see. Let's see. Let's see now. Let us run this program. So what the hash code I am getting here? 1291. Here I am getting 1324 because both are having
Different
different
values.
content. But if you write the same content, 10 and 20,
Same hash code.
okay, then run this program. What are you getting? Same number. But tell me
Yes.
this time, are we writing the logic manually or we are just using the option in IDE? We
Option.
have created using the option in IDE. Like that also we can do it. Okay, whatever it is. Okay, good. So I want to add all these points. I would like to add all these points. If you want to override hash code method by yourself, then how do you override hash code method by yourself? At the rate, override public int. What's the method name? Hash code return. Okay, some x into 101 plus y into 202. Any logic you can write, na? I told you already, na? What I told you. We can able to write the logic by ourselves. Anyway, it doesn't matter whether you are writing like this or like that, but finally we can override. So am I good with this point, guys? Okay. So
Yes, sir.
this is manually we are overriding. This is generated through the option, through the IDE, right? Good. So, but one thing is very clear. Whenever we are overriding hash code method, we have to keep one thing in our mind. What is that? If two objects are having same content, then both the objects must also contain same hash code. What happens if you don't override hash code? Suppose I'm not overriding hash code method in this class now, then
contains
object class also containing
hash code is different.
Object class hash code method will be called. Okay, that returns what? Memory address. But it doesn't verify the content is same or content is different. Simply returns what? Memory address. Am I clear? Okay, cool. So in some examples, I mean not some examples, when you are working with collections, there is an importance for this hash code method. We have to override that. That's why first you should know how to override. So I'm explaining that point today first. Now I would like to add 2-3 points on this to close hash code method and to start with equals method. What is that now? In some cases, okay. Otherwise, first you write like this now. Suppose if you write a class and if you don't override hash code method, what happens? Suppose if you write a class and if you don't override hash code method, then object class hash code method will be called. Which one? Object class hash code method will be called. And what it returns, you know, it returns memory address. It returns the memory address. Suppose if you write a class and if you don't override a hash code method, then the object class hash code method will be called. It returns the memory address. That's the point. This point is very clear for all of you. Next, one more point I want to write is, right. Even though two objects have same data, okay, but the hash code method, method of object class returns a different hash code. Because it is a memory address, na? Because it returns what? Memory address, and the memory address will be different from one object to another. Everybody, I'll save it with the today's date. Okay, guys. They're different from one object to another. Sometimes, I told just now, sometimes we will get a requirement. We'll get a requirement that we have to override. Which method? Hash code. We have to override a hash code method in our class. That requirement you'll understand in collections. But what is the rule to override a hash code method? Okay, the rule or whatever. Okay, the rule to override hash code method is what is the rule to override hash code method? If two objects have the same data, the two objects have the same data, same content or same data. If two objects have the same data, then their hash code also must be same. This is the rule to follow. At the time of overriding which method?
Hash code.
Hash code method. Okay. Now, second, I told one more thing. Either we can manually override hash code method in our class, or we can also use the option of IDE. We can override hash code method. We can override hash code method manually, or we can also override. Okay, we can also override hash code method using option in the IDE, using source option better in Eclipse, using source option in the IDE. Okay, this is about hash code. Later you'll understand, but first understand. Okay, there is a method called hash code and it returns an integer value. We can generate manually, we can override manually, otherwise we can also generate with the option. Okay, right. So for example, just this example you practice. You practice one example in this way. Practice example this way. Now,
So,
return type is integer, that's it. Returns
so
only.
hash code manually, how can I override, sir?
Sorry.
Hash code manually, how can I override?
Already there now. This is what that's
Yeah,
kept in comment.
Okay. And another option ID is there. No?
You know already how to generate setters and getters.
Yeah.
Same. There only below the setters and getters you have an option.
Okay.
Next. Okay. Good. Tell me here, what the output we are expecting here? Same hash code, because
Same hash code.
Same. That's why hash code is also same.
Okay.
In A variable, I'm storing the hash code of the first object. In the B variable, I'm storing the hash code of the second object. But both the hash codes are same.
The content is same.
Are same because the content is same. 1020, 1020. Content is same. That's why hash code is also same. So what's the output? We got 1921. Sorry, 1291, 1291. You can see the output here. What output we got? 1291, 1291. Output is 1291, 1291. 1291, 1291. Okay, output is 1291, 1291. That's it. Am I clear with this? So, do you agree with this point, guys? 1291, 1291. Am I clear with this? Okay. Okay, let's go ahead. One method I have explained so far out of two. Actually, my heading is two methods. One is hash code method. Second one is equals method. Okay. Now again, I'll take the same example to explain about equals method also. Okay, because we have known about hash code method, I just want to remove this hash code now. Delete. Tell me now, how many objects I have created here?
Two.
Two objects I have created. CA.
Two.
Two. CA and
And CA2.
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 How many objects have created? 2. How many objects have created? 2. 2 objects have created. What are they? CA and
CA and CA2.
CA and CA2. 2 objects have created.
CA2.
Listen clearly. Let me talk about that point. Everyone. What is the content in CA? Means what is the data of the object CA?
10 and 20.
10 and 20. In CA2 also?
Same.
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 Take from
10 and 20. Okay. If I write system.out.println of CA double equal to CA2. Actually, what the double equal to operator will check? This is an operator.
True. Yeah, true and false.
What this operator will check? Double equal to operator.
Double equal
Data
operator
in
will contain
same
is
or not?
No.
same or not.
Doesn't check for the data. Let me give the diagram here.
Reference object.
reference.
See, first of all, I have a question. There is a first object here called CA. Tell me in this CA, what's the X value? 10.
10,
What's the Y value?
20.
20. What's the name of this object? What's the name of this object?
CA. CA.
Object name is CA. Next. One more object also I'm creating now. What is my next object name?
CA2.
CA2. X is equal to 10. Y is equal to 20. Same now? What is the name of this object? CA2.
Yes.
First object name is CA, second object name is CA2. What this double equal to operator checks?
Their
Will check
content
whether the two variables, reference variables, who are the reference variables?
CA and
CA.
CA2
CA2. Whether the two reference variables are pointing
same.
to the same object or not.
Not.
That is what double equal to operator will check.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, is both the CA and CA2 are they pointing to the single object?
No, sir.
No.
No, they are pointing to the two different objects now.
Different object.
That's why the result is false.
False.
Boolean value false. For the result here false.
False.
Okay. This is very important. So everybody, I think in online you are concentrating because this will help you a lot in further classes of collections, streams. In all this, it is going to be a very important concept. Okay. Okay. Actually, this morning 7 to 9 is a very good time to learn
Yes.
because in our human brain, we will get very less thoughts at this time. Other thoughts. Remaining thoughts will start from 9.
Yes.
Right? Early morning classes are very important actually. It's a good time to learn actually. Okay. Do you know why the IIT rankers who are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 100, you observe their classes will start at morning 4 o'clock in Narayana, Sri Chaitanya, their IIT batch, the cream batch people who are going to get definitely a rank. For them, they'll start the classes at morning 4. Okay, right? From morning 4 to morning 7, morning 4 to morning 11, their college is over. After 11, they will not teach anything to them. Okay, after that, they have some rest time, then are followed by their preparation. That's it. But no classes will be conducted. Their classes are from 4 to 11 only. I know this. Okay. I know this because my friend is a IIT physics faculty. Okay. He teaches the students. His classes will start from morning 4 o'clock. Okay. They're IIT cream batch people, not for all. Remaining all, okay, chetta. Only for the cream batch people, they will start from 4 to 11. For the remaining guys, they'll start from 8 o'clock. And even for these guys, these faculty will not go and teach to them. Here all juniors and all, those who don't know about subject. Okay, this morning time is very important time. Okay, tell me. Is CA, CA2, are they referring to single object or different objects?
Different object.
Different objects.
They are referring the two different objects. That's why we are going to get output as what?
False.
False.
False. Got the answer false here?
Yes.
Okay, let me do one thing. I will write second statement, line number 19 in comments. And I am adding one more line. Class A, CA2 equal to CA. Excuse me. Yeah. CA and CA2 both are there now. Tell me what line number 20 is doing. Line 20 means
It
one
is a
object.
Address. Yeah. Same address.
Let's say what I'm saying is, guys, there is an object created.
yes. C8.
There is an object created with X value
Finding the same object, sir.
Assigning the object.
and Y value is 20. This object name is CA. That is line number 18.
Yes, sir.
Line number 18 is okay. Okay, na? Did you get my point? What about line number 20? Line number 18 is okay. Next, what is line number 20? CA2 is
Then
equal
we are
to,
Equal to
C.
what
CA.
does it mean? Its meaning is assigning the reference variable to the another reference variable, which means
yes. C8.
the second reference variable CA2 is also
Same X equal to 10,
pointing
Y
to the
equal to
points to the same object. Now tell me both CA and CA2, both these reference variables are
same.
pointing to the
Same.
what?
Same value.
Both these reference variables are pointing to the same
Same
object.
Same address.
Memory address.
Pointing to the same object. Am I clear with you?
Yes.
Both these reference variables are pointing to the same object.
Same object.
Same object. C and CA2 both are pointing to the same object. Am I clear? Yes. Now tell me what the result of CA double equal to CA2.
True.
True.
This is true. So tell me first of all what double equal to operator will do.
Compare the content.
Double equal to operator. First let me show the output first. Tell me what output you are getting. True.
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 Very good. Tell me what the double equal to operator will do.
Compare the contents.
It is pointing, it is checking whether the two reference variables are pointing to the same object.
Same object.
If both are pointing to the same object, the result will be true.
True.
Otherwise, the result is false.
False.
So far, am I good with this point?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
far, am I good with this point? Okay. Cool. Now, this time, I'm writing one method called CA dot equals of CA2.
True.
Look at this. Which method I'm calling?
Equals method.
Equals method. I have a question. Do we have overridden any equals method in this class A?
No.
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 But how can you call equals method then? You don't have this equals method in your class A now. Then how can you call this method?
It is also from object.
It is also coming from
Object.
Object
class.
class.
Like hash code method is also coming from object.
Object class.
Object class. It is also coming from where?
Object class.
Object class.
Object class. Very good. So tell me, what is the result that you are expecting?
True.
Equal content is.
It is a
same.
comparison of content comparison of two
Equals
objects.
method has to compare the content.
Content of the object. True.
What's the content of the first object? That is CA.
10 and 20.
10 and 20. X is 10, Y is 20.
20.
And what's the content in the second object? That is CA.
Same.
10 compare.
10 and 20.
Same. X is 10 and Y is 20.
20.
Means both of them are having
Same
Same.
content.
same
Same,
content. Both of them are having
Same content.
Same.
content.
same content.
Am I clear with this point now?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Am I clear with this point? Both are having the same content. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. Very good. Listen to me. But what happens, I'll tell you. When you call this equals method, tell me this equals method is coming from which class?
Object
Object.
class.
Object.
Object class.
That equals method of the object class will not compare the content. What that equals method of object class also will do? It will also compare whether the two reference variables are pointing to the same object or not. Did you get my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now? That's why again the result is false. Now why it is false? Actually content same na 10 20 10 20, the content in the first object, content in the second object, both are
Same.
same. But still we are getting output as what? False.
False.
Why? Because this equals method is not comparing the
Content.
it doesn't compare the content. What it will compare?
Address.
Same. It will compare whether CA and CA to the two variables,
Two reference.
reference variables are pointing to the
Same.
same
Same
object, referring to the same object or not. That's why we are getting false again. Did you understand now?
Yes. Sir.
This equals
Yes.
method is from which class?
Object
Object.
class.
Object class.
Object class. But if we override equals method in our class, if we override equals method,
Then compare.
then we can compare the content now.
Content. Yeah.
Yes.
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 Okay. So for that reason, I have to override which method now? Equals.
Equals
Equals.
method.
Means what? If at all I want to compare the two objects,
Then
whether
override.
the content is the same or not, I have to override which method?
Equals method.
Equals.
Equal.
I told already. Manually also we can override, but
Yes.
don't override manually. Use the option of
Yeah, built in override.
right click, source, generate, hash code and equals. Tell me what's the return type of equals method?
Boolean.
Means it
Boolean.
returns either true or
False.
false. Okay, you no need to worry about this entire logic. Just simply override this method. Which method?
Equals method.
Equals. Am I clear with you?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And remember, equals method parameter must be object type. Parameter must be object type. Okay. Tell me now, this line number 40 is now calling the equals method of object class or equals method of our class?
Equals method of
Our
our
because we are
class.
overriding na?
Our class.
By our class. Because we are overriding, it is going to call equals method of our class. Am I clear with you? Do you agree with me? Yes? Okay. What this equals method is comparing? See, it is checking x and x values equal or not and y and value equal or not. Nothing but it is comparing what? Content. It is comparing the content.
Content.
Did you understand my point? Did you understand my point, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So let us run this program now. What's the answer now? True.
True.
Why? Because this equals method is, I'm already equals method now. This equals method is comparing the content. X value is matching or not. Next, y value and
Y.
y value matching or not. Here, who is other? Other means the object we are passing CA to. This X means it belongs to our CA, current object. Okay, current object. Did you understand my point? Okay, I'm not asking that you people need to understand this logic. Leave it. Leave it. See what I'm passing here? CA2. What will be stored into OBJ? What I'm passing for OBJ? CA2. This OBJ is converted to other. Other means who is other now? Who is representing this other? Which object is represented with this name other? CA2. In this case, CA2 only, na? First I am passing
Yes.
CA2 to OBJ. Next, OBJ is typecasted to other. Okay, other means CA2. Correct. Okay. Now tell me when to override equals method, and what is the difference between double equal to operator and equals method? Double equal to operator compares whether the two reference variables are pointing to the same object or not. But equals method will compare the content in the objects, whether the content in the two objects is same or not. Okay. Double equal to operator is called reference comparison. Equals method is called
Content.
comparison. Did you understood about these points?
Yes, sir.
So in how many ways we can compare two objects? In how many ways we can compare the two objects?
2 ways.
Two ways.
Over.
Using double equal to operator. Second one is by using
Equals.
equals method. Double equal to operator is for references comparison. References comparison. Double equals method is for
Content.
comparison. Okay. Both equals method, double equal to operator, both returns either true or false. Boolean value.
Boolean. Yes.
True or false. Boolean value. Am I clear with this? So far, am I good with this? I
Yes,
want to
sir.
add this
Yes.
points. Now I am talking about equals method. I can tell you to compare the two objects in Java. We have two ways. What's the one way? What's the one way? One way is what? Yeah, one way is we can use which operator? Double equal to operator. Another way is
Dot equals.
another way is what? We can use equals.
method.
Two ways are there, na? One way is we can use what? Double equal. Second way we can use it what? Equals method. Next. What double equal to operator will do? Double equal to operator. Double equal to operator checks whether the two
Reference variables
reference variables are
pointing to the same object.
pointing to the same object
Same.
or not.
So,
If yes, then returns true. Otherwise, returns
returns.
false. So far, am I good with this? The two reference variables are pointing to the same object or not. If yes, then returns true. Otherwise, returns
False.
false. This is about which method?
Double equal.
Double equal to operator. What is another way?
Equals method.
Equals. Actually, equals method is from which class?
Object class.
Object class.
Equals method is
Object.
from java.lang
Lang. Object.
object, because java.lang is a default package.
Yes.
Equals method is from java.lang.object class. Observe here. If you don't override equals method in your class, if you don't override equals method in your class, tell me what happens if you don't override equals method in your class.
Then result will be not giving true.
Equals method of object class will be called. It also compares the reference variables, right?
Yeah.
It also compares the
Reference.
reference variables are pointing
Same object or not.
The same object.
are pointing to the same object or not.
No.
But it will not compare the
Content.
it will not compare the content. So we have to override the
Override.
equals method, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
But override the equals method in our class
Plus
to compare
the content.
Content.
the content in the objects. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So far, am I good with my statements?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Am I clear with these points? We have to override the equals method in our class to compare the content in the objects. Okay. Again, I told you there are two options. One is we can manually override equals method. Otherwise, we can also use the source option from Eclipse. Override equals. You can override equals method manually, or we can use source option of the IDE to override the equals method. Okay, now. So far, which method and which method I've explained? Same example. I'm just going to copy paste here.
Equals method and hash code method.
Two methods I've explained. What and what?
Hash code and equals.
Hash code method and
Equals.
hash code method and equals method. These both will help us while working with the collections in the further topic, the further collections topic. Okay.
Sir, equal method is in also a string class, na?
Sorry.
String class has equal method also.
Which same class means?
No. String class also has equal method.
Yeah. String, integer. You have wrapper classes, na? Double. For every primitive data type, there is a class also, right? They have corresponding classes also. They are all called as one name, wrapper classes.
As you have seen, equal method of object. Same like equal method of class, string class.
Equals method is there. Equals method is overridden. I'll show you just a minute. First, let me copy this so that I can explain to others also. What I'm trying to say, first let me decrease the font size. Tell me first of all the output of this program. It is true because I'm overriding the which method? Equals method. I'm overriding the equals method. That's why result is true. So now, did you understood about? Okay, did you understood about so far whatever I've explained? Output is true. Am I clear with this?
Yes. Clear.
Yes.
Nice, cool. Now see, I want to open. Okay, directly here itself in ID only. Observe it. Do we know string class? This is called which class now? String, string buffer, string builder. You know the classes. Okay.
Yes,
If
sir.
you already forget about it, please refer the previous notes. But you know about string class. String we discussed after arrays. After
Yes,
arrays completed, we discussed about string, string buffer, string builder. The three difference between string and string buffer and string builder. Okay, you have day long time. You have so much of free time. Actually, you can utilize very, very, efficiently. Actually, so you can learn more than more things even than me because you have so much of free time. Okay, so there is a class called string here. In this string class, you can find control F equals. Now you can see here. You can see here there is a method called what? Equals.
Equals.
Okay. Tell me in string class which method is overridden? Equals method. Which method is overridden? Equals method.
Equals.
Yeah. Equals.
Equals method is overridden in string class or not?
Yes.
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 This is string class. Similarly, let's say for example, string buffer. Which class it is? String buffer.
String.
Here also we'll try to see equals. We want equals method. Let's say equals with parenthesis. That's better. If you observe this, if you observe this string buffer class, if you observe the string buffer class, in string buffer class, equals method is not overridden.
Yes.
Okay. You don't have any equals method here. This is only comment. That's a comment
Yes.
equals. Class started from here.
String buffer.
String buffer. If I go down, you cannot find out anywhere equals method. Capacity, trim to size, caret, some methods are there, but you don't find which method?
Equals
Method.
method.
Which means what?
It means, sir, only wrapper class inside equals
String-
method will be overridden.
String and wrapper classes. Okay, not only one, string and wrapper classes. Okay. Tell me, in this, there are many other methods. You are finding append method, delete
Append.
method, you are finding some methods,
Mm.
but you don't find which method here? Equals.
Equals
Which-
method.
in string buffer class, which method is not overridden? Equals
Equals
method. But in string class,
is override.
yeah, it is overridden. Equals method is overridden. And also the other wrapper classes are there. Integer is a
Integer.
class. Int is a data type, na?
Yes, sir.
Then integer is a
Class.
class. Integer is a class. So let's say control F equals. Now see this. This is which
Oh.
method?
Equals method override.
Equals method. Is it overridden?
Yes, sir.
Yes. In which class? In which class? Integer class.
Integer class.
Integer class. Okay. Take for example double class. In double class also, it is overridden. Double is a data type. Double is a class. Int is a data type. Integer is a class. For every primitive data type, there is a wrapper class is there. Wrapper class means there is a corresponding class is there. In all those classes also, which method is overridden? Equals.
Equals.
Equals method.
But there, sir, at the rate annotation, override annotation will be not used, sir.
Okay, see, if at the rate override annotation is not given, is it mean that it's not overridden? Is it mandatory?
No.
No,
No.
No, not
it's not
mandatory.
mandatory. It's optional. In my class also, this is my class, na? I'll remove this
Yeah.
at the rate override. Will I get error?
No.
Show me where is error.
No error.
Show me where is error. Could you see any error in hash code equals?
No, sir.
No. Is it mandatory or optional?
Option.
Option.
It is optional.
Yes, sir. Then how can I recognize both methods are override or not override?
That is, see, if the method is there in base class and if you are writing that same method in the derived class, it is called overriding. That's it.
Okay, okay. Okay, sir.
But it's not compulsory to add this annotation called at the rate override. Okay, it's your wish.
Okay, sir.
The same method is there in base class also, which means you are overriding. That's it.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
good. So we have completed today's session. And in the today's session, we have discussed about what and what
Hash code equals
Hash
method
code.
and double equal operator.
equals method and as well as double equal to operator. Which operator?
Double equal operator.
Double equal to
In
operator.
how many ways we can compare the two objects in Java? Two ways.
Double
One is
equal to operator
equal to
and
operator.
equals
Second one is
Equals method.
Okay.
Equals.
right. I will share this document with you in later point of time. Please go through this. And tomorrow we'll start with generics and collections. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.